What's up and welcome back. So here is something that what I remember what I said about this guy's elbow here is we needed to find a way to fill in that space. I was able to find an image here. Let's see. Oops. Right here. From this is Wallpaper Safari. That doesn't seem right. I think it was maybe oh, actually that was right. It was from Wallpaper Safari. Uh and so now we have his elbow. So basically what we're going to need to do is we're going to bring that picture in. Just grab that file here. And we are going to lower the opacity so I can see what I am doing here. We need the elbow. We want the hand. Okay, so we're going to have to enlarge this image. Maybe a tad more. Okay. This is pretty close. So then what I'm going to do is we're going to duplicate this image. We'll just say left elbow. Or, yeah. Left elbow. Call it okay. Close this one. Turn up the opacity on it. And then what we're going to do is just a quick mask so that I can line him up better without all that noise. Oops, that was a mistake. That's fine, it didn't select all that, it looks like. So let's go ahead and just mask. And we can even be more detailed now. Should have been more detailed from the beginning because this isn't heavily required on this part. We actually could probably use another tool to help do this. There we go. I'm going to hit Control Shift I because now we need to use the. Make sure your black is your foreground color and hold Alt backspace, and it's going to now apply black to the outer selection there. We're going to just drop the opacity. It looks like it needs some more adjusting. So let's go ahead and just, we want this elbow. That look right? So that looks crummy. That looks pretty sharp. So now let's go ahead and go a little step further. And we're going to go like this. Then we're going to hit Control Shift I, Alt backspace, and now we've cut out we've cut out just the elbow. So we can kind of flicker to see the color is not quite right, and it looks like it's down and to the right a little bit. So we're going to grab the move tool, and we're going to go up, left. And we're just going to flicker this again. Looks like maybe it could go up a pixel. What do you think? Well, it actually might be up too high. Oh, it's so close. Okay, now we're going to go a little bit further. And we're going to remove this. And I'm going to select a little bit outside of this space. Just like that. And we'll go down here. Just like that. Control Shift I. Switch back to this layer. Alt backspace. We're going to Control D. And we just have to now make sure that this lines up with that. And as you can see here, this looks pretty good. There's a little bit color shift. We could probably play with that a little bit. Whoops. Let's go ahead and bring up an adjustment. It needs like some vibrance or some hue saturation. Maybe it needs a little more red. No. Like the hue saturation layer. Because I only want it to be for that layer. And I think there's a way to do that. So I think you just go hue, saturation. It's just for this layer, I think. There you go. Let's fade it a little bit. A little more. Maybe it's a little too saturated. Or desaturated, I think. Maybe bring down the brightness. How does that look? Let's zoom out and see. You can barely even tell. I think that's going to be perfect. Okay. And what else are we going to do? Alright. So we are going to come back to this space here. And I am going to apply layer mask, but this may need to be rasterized. Yep. Okay, so now we owned that. Go to the brushes, and we're just going to get a hard round. Doesn't need to be 200 pixels. It actually needs to be smaller. 10 is okay. I think 7 is going to be better. I'm going to go ahead and select this, and we're just going to take out the edge here of the stuff that we didn't remove when masking. It's okay if you go into that black, I think, a little bit. You want to just really make sure that you're getting rid of this outer stuff. And I'll show you a trick to check to see if you've really removed it all. Some people use a pen tool. select it, or a lasso tool and select it. I'm going to go ahead and chop that up a little bit. So then we'll go back to this layer here, and I'm going to hold Control, and I'm going to click it. See, and as you can see, we don't have any selections out in this area here, so what it looks like is it's probably okay. And then we're going to go ahead and Control D to remove that. And it's still looking a little off, so what we're going to go in here is Sharpen. And we're going to do a little bit of Sharpen. Oh, and that really helped. That really, really helped. The only thing that I'm disliking is this edge. I may be able to spot heal that. I think the brush is too big. Yeah, this might be the one. Let's go to Control D that. Control D that. Let's see what happens if I drag this along that line. Ooh, yuck. That may just need to stay that way. I might be able to do away with it if I smudge. Not with that. And shrink it down to maybe 6 will do. Just kind of drag it around. Try to keep the image to stay the same. I'm currently undoing. I don't know if I like the way it looks. I think we just keep the sharpen. We could do this. Take this one here. And filter. Blur it just a tad. 1 pixel. Maybe 0.5. And then what happens if I blend this down? Just testing things out, trying to see if we can make it kind of blend in a little bit, but I don't like that. We're going to go ahead and just delete it. Okay. We haven't even cut him out, but his elbow looks fantastic. These layers can be merged. See, look at that. That is really well done. And then we're now here. And we're just going to go ahead and drag that up because we're going to need to cut him out. So we're going to do the same thing. There we go. Control Shift I inverts your selection so it selects out here instead of in here. And we're just going to hit delete. Then we're going to control, and I'm going to deselect the background or make it not visible so that I can grab the eraser. It's slightly bigger. I like a hard eraser, especially when I'm trying to get a clean edge. Some people would choose a soft eraser. It's not my style. Sometimes, like if you're trying to do like a hair, and get an edge that doesn't have a clear definition, that's okay. But I still, even then, try to get it as clean as possible. Some people will use the background removal tools. A lot of times they're not perfect enough for me. I'll use this one right here. We're just gonna work our way around this. So I'll show you another way here in a minute. My nose itches. To do this. And typically when I'm doing these types of pieces, these animation things, I am using all of the tools that I know, trying different things out to make sure that things are working. So there's a couple different other ways to do this, and we're just going to try. This is the lasso select tool, and you just kind of click where you want there to be points, so you can do like long stretches here. And then you just kind of come back around, and it'll give you a little bit of a circle on the pointer to close it. And then you can just hit delete. Now, if you look here, there's a slight edge of color because it's not as perfect. I would even sacrifice some of the black to get that to go away. And you could just do this all the way around the guy here, or whatever shape you're using. There's also the pen tool you can use, which is more or less the same idea as the lasso tool, except I'll have to turn it into a path at the end. And again, sacrifice some of the black to get that edge. Because this is like very stylized artwork. See how it has the white edge and then a black edge? Yeah, you could get rid of those. Or not get rid of them, but you could kind of get into the black edge a little bit, and you would just try to keep it kind of consistent. There's a trick to fix it afterwards too. So there's actually a different way. Let me just, oops, hit the windows here. Let's go ahead and do it like, so you could just select here then if you hold, what tool is it? I think it's the Alt button, isn't it? Shift, Control. Oh. That's the one. Let's do it. I may have broke it. Oh, I know what I did wrong here. Okay, so what you'll do is you'll click over here, and then you can kind of shape it. And then if you hold Alt, you can turn this and point the direction your next anchor is going to be to kind of keep the line. Okay. See how jagged this is, though. Then, like, this one is kind of easy. So then I would just kind of select there and there. Oh, wait. Alt brings up that little tool to turn this little handle. We could just kind of take it there and there and there and there. And I'll select over here. And we'll select this one here. I don't know if I can change. Oh, I can. Nice. So this one will come this way a little bit. So Control reselected that anchor for me. And so here is the issue that I have with this. We're going to just go ahead and finish it off. We're going to go over here. And then you'll see that same little circle to finish it. You can right click and you'll make a selection. No feather. And then you're going to do the same thing as I did before and hit delete once you have your selection. Then Control D, excuse me, to deselect. And then see, look, if you're paying attention, or if not that you're not paying attention, but if you take a look, see, like, there's a little bit of a feather there, or a sliver of color there. This seems pretty smooth because I was doing lots of anchors. This is pretty good, but here we get some jaggedness. So that needs to be cleaned. And we're currently, by doing that, you're going around the outline and outline and outline. And then you have to, at the end, select it to make a selection. And to make a selection. And then you have to delete it. Where the reason that I kind of like the erase tool is I'm going around it right now, and instead of making the selection, I'm removing it. So I'm basically doing the same thing. And once you do this a lot, I've done this a lot. Yeah, for thumbnails, where I'm cutting people out, you get a pretty steady hand. There we go, that's a good one, see? Ooh, see, those are really good erases. These are easier erases than what's going to be this more detailed section here. There we go. And here's what we'll do here. Oh wait, that's not the one we want. We want this one, the elbow. We gotta label this. You want to make sure everything's labeled because things will get confusing once you get too much. So that left elbow covers up pretty much anything that's going to be an issue. Maybe not that. Is that here or here? Yeah, see, there's some adjustments that need to happen. That. Maybe the left elbow here. And then let's even cut the opacity on this a little bit. Actually, you know what we could do? Turn the opacity all the way back up. The edge from there to there is pretty good. This one here needs a little bit of a bump. So let's go ahead and drag. Wrong one. This one. Just like that. And then let's grab the eraser just to get rid of that color on the edge. Most of that color is going to end up, because the background of this image is pretty close to the same one. It doesn't have to be that perfect, but it depends on your background that you're going to be using. All right, and then we're going to drop that there. Boom. That looks great already. I mean, we're already looking fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and he doesn't even have a shadow, so I don't have to worry about a drop shadow. These have drop shadows, but we're just going to ignore those. So this is Originals 2. We're going to go ahead and call that Originals 2. We're going to go ahead and get rid of it. Take the next one, and we're going to go Originals 3. The reason that I do this is so that we kind of have the steps along the way. So like we know we need this. This one's not necessarily needed, but we do kind of need it. This is the elbow piece. We don't need that right now because I have it from before. The left elbow. So this is the guy. I don't know what his name is. He is a bandit. We're just going to call him a bandit, but I can't remember exactly what his name is. And we're going to merge these. I think he's a bandit. Okay. We're going to minimize them. And we have this one here. And so we're going to call this original image. Move it up. And this time we're going to cut out Borderlands text. Borderlands 2 text. Okay. And this time we're going to skip the masking of anything. We're just going to go straight to selecting almost all of it. We'll even leave that TM there, because then that's just appropriate. Control-Shift-I to select the rest of the image and delete. And now we have that. So we have the Borderland text. We're going to hit Control-D